I'm going to laminate this paperback book. First thing we have to do is pull off a piece of laminating material. To determine how much you need, lay the cover of the book down flat on top of the paper. Lay the cover down totally flat. And position it in the middle, and you want about an inch over here and an inch on the other side. So I'm just going to use my fingernail and make a mark so I'll know where to cut this laminate. So it's about an inch on either side. I'll pull this back into the cutting board and cut it right on the mark I made. Next thing we have to do is crease the material to the size of the book. And that's basically folding over the book pretty much where the laminate material is going to fit it, and pinching it right here. You take your fingers and put a pinch so you can see I made a little mark there so I can tell where to fold this over and make a permanent crease. So holding the pinch down, I line up the top and the bottom of the cover so that it'll be parallel. And then I run my fingers across up and down to make the crease. That'll fit like this. And it's about a little bit less than half an inch left over, 3/4 of an inch, that'll be fine. Next thing I have to do is make the crease on this side. So again, I'm going to line this up. Make a pinch. Line up the top and the bottom so it'll fold in exactly the right place. And run my fingers across and down to make a pinch. Now I'm left with pretty much what looks like a book. Spine in the back, the two covers, and these lines are already in. Next thing I got to do is peel back the laminate, the protection that's covering the laminate, the film, which will expose the sticky side. I want to peel this back just a little bit beyond the spine. We have the first crease, the second crease, and now we're going to just peel this back just slightly beyond this, just exposing maybe 1/3 of an inch. Now what I want to do is place the back of the book and line it up with this second crease that I made. It's got to be lined up exactly with that crease, and it's one of the delicate parts of the operation, because if you don't put it on right, you're going to have problems. So I line it up top and bottom, same distance from the top, same distance from the bottom, and I have this so it's just visually lined up with the crease, and then I press down. Next thing I'm going to do is fold this up. I'm pressing the back, the spine part, so it's holding. Now I'm going to work my fingers over, curling this like this so that I can squeeze out any bubbles. Work my hand all the way over, and that's like that. I flip the whole thing over. And now I'm going to peel off the lamination on the other side. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Work the lamination over using my palm. And now we have the lamination on all three sides of the book. We have the back and the two sides. And now we have to deal with the pieces of lamination that are hanging over. One of the tricky cuts is how we cut this piece right here. If you notice, I have a pattern drawing here, which is a right angle on a plane. I put the book, line the book up right into this angle, and I take a pair of scissors and cut across. Cut directly across here. At the bottom portion of the book, with this piece of laminate, I'm going to make an angular cut right here. Turn this around. I'm going to place this corner into that same pattern. Make the cut across. And here I got to make that same angular cut toward the spine here. Now that we're ready to fold over the laminate to complete the process, I'm going to do this back section first. We're going to fold this over. I find the best way to do it is just sort of like work your fingers under it and press up against the corner, just making a little bend at a time. And when it's like this, I know it's hard to see because it's clear, you bend it over, squeeze it down, and that's pretty good. You can use anything to like work it in better. When you turn it around, you're going to do the same thing with this piece. I'm going to fold it, get it kind of like get a crease going, and that way when you make the initial fold, with the whole fold, it'll go easier. See, this is like ready to go. Just fold this over, and then I'm going to make the crease with my fingernail and just work it in. And as you see in the middle, in the thing here, the two sides meet in the middle based on that cut we made, and it makes a neat meeting here. We have the one last side to do. We're going to do this side. Fold this up, crease it a little bit, 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 crease it a little bit. Bring the whole thing down. And then squeeze it in with your fingernail and the palm of your hand. And finally you have the whole thing on this, the whole side of the back side of the book. The laminate is on very well. Now you have to turn around. We're going to work on this side. First step again is putting it in this little gauge that I made. Lay it down there and cut the laminate across this white line. Good. On this side, we have to make a cut slanting this way. See if I can cut it, and you can still see. Making the cut slanted this way into the spine. We have to do this side as well. Place this part into the pattern on the table, And you're going to make a cut going like that. Next we're going to fold these pieces like we did on the other side. I'm making sure I don't have any pages that I don't want attached to the spine. Okay, we're going to make these creases, bend up the flap, and make a little crease, make a little crease, make a little crease, just little creases, just to get this thing standing up like this. It'll make it easier when you make the final. Now, you'll see what I'm doing here. I'm spreading all my fingers out. I'm going to press this all down at once. The only drawback with this material is it's not that easy to take off. If the cover is a very shiny material, on this time I'm going to use the scissors to kind of squeeze out any bubbles. And what I was saying about the material, if it's very shiny, sometimes you can peel it off once you put it on. But on some books, if you try to peel it back off, it'll just tear off. It'll just rip off the design on the cover. So you got to try to be careful to lay it down the way you want it in the first place. We'll do the same thing on the side. Lift this up. Get it creased, get it creased, get it creased, get it creased. Now this whole piece is creased, and just lay it down. I forgot to make this cut on this side. So this is the angle cut going into the spine. We're going to make the crease, 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 crease. Okay, now I'm going to fold this side over. And as with the other side, you're left with the three sides folded over all the way around, and you can see the book is all covered in the laminate now. Now the only thing you have left is there's a piece of plastic left here, and there's a piece of plastic left here. You cut these by opening up the book like this and taking your scissors and cutting right across. Pieces off. Same thing on this side. You want to cut this piece, cut that piece of the laminate off. Get the scissors and cut right across. Where am I? Here I am. Now the book has a cover. See all four sides. The book is protected. Not as good as a hard cover, but this is how the laminating process works.